Good morning, everybody. First of all, I just want to say I love you guys and I miss you guys. But anyways, last week, if you remember, I gave you an alternative assignment on dividing complex numbers. I thought I would do it one more time and then present a new assignment for you guys to work on. And then, of course, I'll follow up with Khan Academy. So, here we go. So what would I do on a problem like this, guys? Is first understand that there is our problem right there. Remember, I is the square root of -1 by definition. We do not like fractions, which means dividing, with radicals. So we have to get rid of any radical whenever we divide by it. So the trick is to use the conjugate. What is a conjugate? Well, you take your real number term and your complex number term. Since this is plus, we're just going to change the sign to minus. That is your conjugate. All right. So we're going to times top and bottom by the conjugate, because technically what we're doing right here is timesing by 1, because anything divided by itself is 1. So we're changing the look of the expression, but we're not changing its value. That's why it works. So first, let's do the numerator right here. I'm going to do 2i times 6 minus 8i. And I know that's 12i minus 16i squared. Guys, what's I squared? That's a -1. So when I times that with minus 16, I get 12i plus 16. It changes signs. Okay? Now, let's do the denominators. We'll use the area model. Let me give myself some space here. And we're going to set up our area model here. We're going to take 6 plus 8i, times that with 6 minus 8i, its conjugate. 6 times 6 is 36. Negative 8i times 6, negative 48i. 6 times 8i is positive 48i. See how these cancel out? No more i's, no more square root of -1s. Negative 8i times 8i is negative 64i squared. What's I squared though, guys? That's a -1 times with negative 64, positive 64. So notice what's cool about this problem is all we have is 36 plus 64, which is a nice number 100. So here's our answer. But we want to simplify it, right? Does everyone agree, for example, watch this carefully, they're all even, can't I divide by 2? Follow the red. Divide by 2, 6. Divide by 2, 8. Divide by 2, 50. Hey, they're still even. Let's divide by 2 again. Divide by 2, 3. Divide by 2, 8 divided by 2 is 4. 50 divided by 2 is 25. We finally have our answer. Now I'm going to put the real number first. So I'm going to do 4. Don't forget the I. Plus 3i over 25. All right, let's try another one. This time what's different is the numerator is also a full complex number, so a little bit more work. But the first step is we're going to times by the conjugate. What is a conjugate? Well, we're going to take the real number part, 8, the 4i complex number part of the number. It starts with a minus, so we're going to do a plus. So our conjugate is 8 minus 4i. So let's start with the numerator again. I'll do it over here. So we're going to take 1 minus 4i. We're going to times that with 8 plus 4i. 1 times 8 is 8. 4i times 1 is 4i. 8 times negative 4i is negative 32i. And 4i times negative 4i is negative 16i squared. But what does that I squared do? It's a negative, so it becomes plus 16. All right, so what do we have then? We have 8 plus 16. We might as well put that together. That's 24 over, or we're not quite there yet. 4i minus 32i is minus 28i. So guys, we got the numerator done. 24 minus 28i over, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves there, at least I was. Now let's do the denominator using the area model here. Let me make that a little bit neater. Here we go. Much better. So we're going to take 8 minus 4i. We're going to times that with 8 plus 4i. It's conjugate, right? So 8 times 8, 64. 4i times 8, 32i. 8 times minus 4i, negative 32i. See how they cancel each other out, guys. No more i's, because 32 minus 32 is 0, right? Finally, 4i times minus 4i is minus 16i squared. But of course, I squared is a negative 1 times with the negative 16, positive 16. So it works out nice again. What I have is this 64 and the 16. Again, the i's canceled each other out. So that adds up to simply 80. Now, guys, there's my answer, except we need to simplify. Let's use the same trick I showed you before. They're all even. Let's divide by 2. Divide by 2, 12. Divide by 2, 14. Divide by 2, 40. Hey, they're still even. Let's divide by 2 again. Divide by 2, 6. Divide 14 by 2, 7. Divide 40 by 2, 20. So if you notice, we have 6. We have a minus. Watch your signs. Don't forget the I. So it's 7i over 20. Okay, guys. Let's do one more. Here we go. Again, we need the conjugate. I see a 5. I see a 9i. I see a minus, so I'm going to make it a plus. That's the conjugate. Let's go ahead and do the numerator first. Using the area model over here, I got negative 2 with a 9i. Watch your signs. I got a 5 with a plus 9i, the conjugate. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. 9i times negative 2, negative 18i. 5 times 9i, 45i. 9i times 9i, 81i squared. The I squared is negative 1. So that's really a negative 81 right there. So our numerator is going to be negative 10 with negative 81. That's negative 91. The negative 18 and 45i is a positive. You could use your calculator if you want to, guys. But that's a 27i, correct? 45 minus 18. That's going to be over our denominator. Let's do our denominator using the area model over here. I'm going to do 5 minus 9i times its conjugate, 5 plus 9i. 5 times 5 is 25. 9i times 5 is 45i. 5 times negative 9i is negative 45i. See how the 45s cancel each other out? No more complex number I anymore. And finally, 9i times negative 9i is negative 81i squared. But of course, I squared being negative 1 times with negative 81 is positive 81. So putting together, I have 81 and 25, which is 106. And guys, I could be mistaken, but I think those numbers are what we call relatively prime. So negative 91, 27, and 106. I'm pretty sure I can't simplify that. So you know what? There's our answer. So guys, what is your alternative assignment or alternate assignment is this. You have problem 4 here. Again, I recommend just write it down. Do it on a separate sheet of paper, maybe in your notebook. Here comes number 5. And here comes number 6. So guys, 3 problems. How hard and how long would it take you just to do 3 problems, right? 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, right? Maybe even less. So anyways, guys, this is another video on dividing complex numbers. Don't forget, last week I already assigned to you in Khan Academy this assignment. And remember, you can always type this into the little search button, the little eyeglass button there in Khan Academy, and find it as well. I recommend you practice this, guys, so that you get better prepared not only for next year, but for also college. All right, guys, love you. See you around.